What's up, guys? It's your girl Chelsea, the wannabe Hecate, here today for another episode of Analyzing Celebrity Birth Charts. If you're new here, Analyzing Celebrity Birth Charts is a series I do where I sit down and talk about the birth charts of famous people. It's pretty self-explanatory. Obviously, I can't make concrete statements about celebrities. I don't know them as people, but by looking at their birth charts, we can talk about their planetary placements, their house placements. We can compare them to our own and see what we might have in common with them. And basically, the whole point of the series is to learn more about how the planets act in certain signs and houses. More than anything, that's what I just want to talk about that and nerd out about astrology. Most of the celebrities that I've done before have a birth time, like an official one, but sometimes I can't find a birth time, and in those instances I might speculate on what the rising sign might be, and that can be kind of fun sometimes. If you like this video, I hope you'll consider checking out the rest of my channel. I have a lot of other episodes of Analyzing Celebrity Birth Charts that you can check out. I think this is the 14th one. Pretty sure I put 14 on the last one and it was 13, and I was like, oh no, and I had to go fix it. If it's not your first rodeo and you've sat down with me before, welcome back. I hope everyone is doing well regardless of whether you're back or it's your first time, whatever. I'm happy you're here. Why is my eye is doing something weird right now? Like as I'm looking at it as I'm talking right now. I don't know why my eye is doing what it's doing today. These lashes are very heavy though, so it's possible that my eyelids are just like, we've had enough of this. So today we are talking about Lil Nas X. I am like 99% certain you have heard of him before or know who he is. I'm really excited to talk about him and to look at his chart. We don't have a birth time. I was drawn to do his chart because he's just been making so many waves recently with his music video, obviously, for Call Me By Your Name. He also was in a music video for Brockhampton's new song, Count On Me. It's honestly so refreshing to me to see a man like Lil Nas X be so in touch with his sexuality, be so comfortable with expressing it. All of his imagery and concepts, I love them. I think they're beautiful. I love everything that he's doing, and because he's such a game changer and a trendsetter, I was like, wow, I'd really love to look at this birth chart, so let's check it out. I also wanted to do one more Aries before Aries season was over, since we did Seth Rogen for Aries season. We're doing Seth Rogen and Lil Nas X for Aries season. I haven't picked the first celebrity for Taurus season yet, but I will soon. So, funny story, Lil Nas X actually has the same sun and moon sign as Seth Rogen. So we already went over Aries Sun and Capricorn Moon, which is what he has, in the last video, but we're going to go over those again really quick. And I figured, you know, what better time to talk about Aries one last time as we leave Aries season, kind of go over like the themes that we've been having going on like the past month. We're going into, as I'm filming this video, Mercury and the Sun are going into Taurus. Venus is already there. So a lot of those planets are going to be transiting Taurus for a little bit. So definitely check the house that Taurus rules in your chart, because those planets are going to be hanging out there, like I said, for probably like a week and a half, maybe a little bit more than that, like a week and a half and some change in like weekdays, not like coins, you know, like the saying, and some change. I really like that saying, like this and some change. I don't know, I'm weird. So Lil Nas is an Aries, and as we know, Aries are very impulsive. They're very go and do people. They like to go ahead and take action rather than sit around like thinking about it or waiting. They just want to go ahead and get it done, and they can ask the questions later. So Aries tends to be like a natural leader. They're very exciting and vibrant and passionate. They're a fire sign, so they bring a lot of spice and dynamic energy with them. I think that Lil Nas being an Aries definitely kind of helps explain like how he's been setting so many trends lately. He's not afraid to like express himself. He wasn't always unafraid to express himself, obviously. It's just now that he's out and he's comfortable in his skin, he's very okay with expressing himself, which is great for him. I just didn't want to like make it sound like it was always like that for him, because it wasn't. And it's very hard for people everywhere who struggle with not being able to come out, and when they do come out, not being able to come out in the ways they want to. That's a different topic, sorry. Aries people are all about what's happening in the moment. They like to live simply. Whatever's going to get them there the fastest is what they're usually about. They're happiest when their lives are active and moving. They may have like impatient energy about them or have trouble sitting still. Even a quiet Aries sun has like a braveness and spunkiness about them, like I talked about in the last video. Aries is just There's something. They're the first sign in the zodiac, and they want you to know who they are. They want to leave an impression. Very open-hearted, high-spirited people. I'm kind of sad to see Aries season go, but I am excited for Taurus season to be here. It'll be a time to take a break, pamper ourselves, you know, indulge in things for ourselves, things for our loved ones, things for our space and our home. Before I talk about the moon sign, I do want to say I'm sorry about my laptop's like heavy breathing. I can't hear it because I have AirPods in to like help me with just the noise in general around here, like with my neighbors. I tried waiting earlier and getting it to stop and then restarting my video, and now I'm just like, okay, I don't have time to wait, it's late, so I'm gonna see what I can do in post, and if I can't fix it, then I just wanted to say I'm sorry and I know about it, and hopefully I'll figure something out. So like our previous celebrity, Seth Rogen, Lil Nas has his moon in Capricorn. I thought that was kind of funny to think about, like Seth Rogen and Lil Nas X having the same sun and moon sign, and then like what their similarities are, which I think the biggest one to like point out and, you know, kind of be like, hello. They're both very outspoken about what they're passionate about, and they're not afraid to let you know what their opinion or stance is on that. I think that's great. I think that's big Aries energy. So when the moon goes into Capricorn, it can get kind of interesting just because the earth signs can be a little rigid when it comes to emotions. They're just reserved in a way. They're not like super gushy most of the time. So when the moon goes here, which is like the inner world and emotions, Capricorns tend to want to like organize those emotions and compartmentalize them instead of like dealing with them or feeling them necessarily. Capricorn moons are very self-sufficient. They accept responsibility very well. They're okay to kind of do things on their own. Usually a lot of Capricorn moons will have been like the kids who were more like independent and kind of grew up like faster than other kids, or were just like wise beyond their years in a way, and they just knew that like there was work to be done. They're ready to get that work done because they know what they want and they want to achieve those goals. That's very big Capricorn energy. Capricorn moons definitely have like very dry senses of humor, very sarcastic. They may hide like their vulnerabilities behind this, but just in general, like I think Capricorn is definitely like big dry humor energy. At the end of the day, a Capricorn moon wants to be useful. They want to be productive and helpful. Safety and security is what's important. Gaining those things both for themselves and for the people that they care about is super, super important to Capricorn moons. Now, as I mentioned, I didn't get a birth time for Lil Nas, so we won't be talking about any specific house placements today, just what planets are in what signs. Lil Nas has his Mercury in Pisces. I wasn't really surprised to see this when I saw his chart, just because Mercury in Pisces is a very creative and artistic placement to have, and Lil Nas himself is obviously very creative and artistic, very imaginative, as we can see like by his music, his lyrics, his concepts and visuals, his like the way he dresses. I couldn't come up with like his wardrobe. That's the word I was looking for. But yes, Pisces Mercury's people have very, very strong imaginations. Usually a very active intuition as well. They can rely on their gut and their instincts. Pisces Mercury's can be kind of sympathetic and understanding to like the plights and the pitfalls of other people, or like the underdogs. Pisces is very, Pisces and Aquarius, they have a very big humanitarian streak. They like to be helpful to others. Pisces Mercury, usually, so like Mercury we know is like communication, it's like mental energy. When it goes into Pisces, it becomes pretty open-minded to lots of different ideas. Pisces itself as a sign tends to be very passive because it's the fish. It likes to go with the current and kind of see where life's going to take it. Because of this energy, it can be hard to like pin them down to like one thought or thing or like belief. Pisces Mercury specifically, but I mean for Pisces placements in general, that's a thing. Pisces Mercury people can also be a little moody in communication. Like sometimes they can be really talkative, and then other times they can be kind of withdrawn. It just depends on like their energy at that moment. Just because Pisces placements and like Pisces Mercury people are very sensitive to their surroundings and their environment. So depending on where they're at and what kind of mood they're in, that's going to definitely have a very significant effect on them and how they're communicating, and also like their mental state, just because they pick up so much from not just like the people around them, but even like this physical space like that they're in. They're like a sponge. They just like all the like feelings and everything. Lil Nas has his Venus in Taurus, just like Ariana Grande. She has her Venus in Taurus, and I always remember that because she wrote the iconic song Seven Rings, which is like the most Venus in Taurus song ever. I'd rather spoil all my friends with my riches, make retail therapy my new addiction. Yes, big Venus in Taurus energy. These people are very romantic, sensual, affectionate. They love to buy gifts for their loved ones. That's a very big Taurus thing. Taurus rules the house of finances, values, possessions. It's the sign that's usually associated with like money. Now, as I said, a Taurus Venus is very romantic and sensual, but they don't give away their love very easily. Taurus can be a very reluctant sign. They like to think things out. They're kind of like the opposite of Aries, so they want to think it through before they make the decision. They want to make sure that it's the right decision. So they're going to be the same way when giving away their love, not just to like a romantic partner, but also when they're choosing friends. Once they do decide to commit, they are very constant in their love and they're very dedicated. They can be a little reluctant to change. I don't really know how that reluctance to change would balance with Lil Nas specifically, since he does have like Pisces, Mercury, and Aries Sun, and those are kind of like, let's just see what happens signs. But without a birth time, I really can't even like go into that, so I don't know what I'm doing. Literally wrote in my notes, they just want a comfy, cozy time. Yes, Taurus Venus, comfy, cozy time. They also have a very keen artistic eye and usually some kind of interest in music. I also like to note when I'm doing like a singer's chart or like someone who has like a music career, Taurus rules the throat and the vocal cords. So when they have these Taurus placements, like earlier I talked about Ariana Grande has Venus in Taurus, kind of supports like having that pretty voice and being musically inclined. Lil Nas has a beautiful singing voice. I love it so much. Like, yes, he is a rapper and he makes bangers, but like when he like on Rodeo, oh my gosh, I love the way his voice sounds. I'm sorry, I'll stop. Lil Nas has Mars in Scorpio. I really like when Mars goes into Scorpio. I don't like have like a concrete reason. I love Scorpio as a sign. I have a Scorpio stellium. My Mars is not in Scorpio, it's in Leo. I was thinking about that when I was writing my notes for this video. I was like, how different of a person would I be if I had Scorpio Mars instead of Leo Mars? Then I saw Scorpio Mars is good at keeping their cool, and I was like, yeah, that's not me at all. Scorpio is arguably one of the most passionate signs in the zodiac. So when Mars goes here, planet that represents like our drive, our goals, our ambition, and how we like go after those things, it brings all of that passion like with it. So a Scorpio Mars person tends to like throw themselves into whatever they do wholeheartedly. Lots of passion, lots of energy. They usually like to challenge themselves. They make very formidable opponents. But like I said, they're good at keeping their cool. So like they'll have a lot going on under the surface, but like on the surface, they're really like keeping their cool, straight face, everything's fine. Scorpio Mars people also tend to like have a very black and white philosophy of life. They don't like to do things like halfway. They don't really enjoy or understand compromise usually. As I said, they do like to challenge themselves. They may enjoy like making like rules and goals for themselves just for the satisfaction of mastering them and like checking off those boxes. Scorpio Mars also supports a very enhanced imagination and creative drive, which we definitely see in Lil Nas. I think that all the passion that comes with the Scorpio Mars also kind of bolsters what I talked about with him being so like comfortable with making waves and setting these trends and expressing himself. That was why I wanted to get into his chart. And I think that the Aries energy, but also this Scorpio Mars is like mostly what I was looking for, as well as the Pisces Mercury. Also worth noting, Scorpio Mars people, you may be attracted to situations involving danger and risk. So I think that him making these waves and making such a statement for LGBTQ youth everywhere, he's totally okay with being that torchbearer and being like, if I'm going to be the one to do it, like that's fine. There is some danger in being so outspoken that you do experience pushback, and he is seeing that now, but he don't care. He said, all publicity is good publicity, baby. How does that saying go? No such thing as bad publicity, baby. I got it the second time. I won't be able to say a whole lot about Jupiter and Saturn just because they are generational planets. They move a lot slower, and without having a birth time and being able to look at the specific houses that they're in, we can't say a whole lot about how they affect Lil Nas like personally, but we can touch on them a little bit. Because Jupiter is in Aries, just like his sun. Aries Jupiter people tend to be good with professions where they're their own boss, which we definitely can kind of see with Lil Nas. They're very confident natural leaders, which we definitely see with Lil Nas. An Aries Jupiter person usually tends to have a very like life is what you make it attitude. They also really like competition and doing things independently. Lil Nas' Saturn is in Taurus, just like his Venus. A Saturn and Taurus person tends to be very determined and capable, and they take responsibility very seriously. So a lot of that tends to like vibe with the Capricorn moon energy, and it's going to reinforce that a lot in Lil Nas' chart. The Capricorn moon and the Taurus Saturn just go hand in hand like that. Taurus Saturn people tend to spend a lot of energy and effort putting away savings, ensuring security and stability for themselves in their future, in their old age. That's very important to them. Saturn is like the planet of, you know, self-discipline. It wants you to be responsible and to make good choices. Once a Taurus Saturn achieves the material comfort that they want so badly, they tend to be very generous with it and very willing to help others, just because usually, like more often than not, they come from that and they know how it is to have less and to not have it all, and so they're very willing to help others because they came from that kind of like Bruce Wayne vibes, if you will. Maybe I should do fictional birth charts. That would be cool. Tailing off on what I just talked about though with the Bruce Wayne energy, Taurus Saturn people also like don't really like to see greed or waste in other people. I'm sorry, Mom, I'll call you back later. But like I said, they come from like lesser, so they don't like to see other people wasting when they know that there are people who go without. Which, yes, that's like a general attitude in almost any decent person, but it's like extra important to someone who has Saturn and Taurus. Like it bothers them just a little bit more, you know? It's also possible that people with Saturn and Taurus have to build up a sense of like being deserving of certain like pleasures in life, or like just having fun instead of always working. That's big like earth sign energy in general, I feel like. So as I said, I could not find a birth time for Lil Nas, but I did ask my friend Trey to help me out with some speculation on his rising sign. We kind of came up with Cancer. When you put in his birth time as 12 p.m., which is the standard time most astrologers use if they don't really know the birth time, it's just like use noon. When you do that, you do get Cancer rising. And the house placements with that rising sign are really nice. I really like them, and I felt like they kind of vibed with what I know of him. I was like, I can kind of see this. The only other rising sign that really stuck out to me, like when I asked myself, like, what do I think his rising sign is? My brain was like Aquarius, but I think that's just because he's so eccentric with how he dresses and expresses himself and how he like looks, which is what the rising sign is all about. And Aquarius is such a rebellious and eccentric sign. But some of the house placements with Aquarius rising, I wasn't really sure about. So like I have some of the house placements I really like for Cancer rising and some of the house placements I really like for Aquarius rising. It's kind of hard to pick one. If you have some speculation on what you think it might be, please let me know in the comments. I know if there's a birth time out there, y'all are going to let me know in the comments because we've been there and done that. Watch Chris Evans' episode. It's good. I worked really hard on it. I did. You should check that one out for sure if you haven't seen it. What are some of my other favorite episodes of Analyzing Celebrity Birth Charts? Keanu Reeves, Drake. Rihanna's was good. I enjoyed talking about Rihanna. Thank you so much for sitting down with me. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm very sorry about my hyperventilating computer. I will hopefully figure out a way to fix that. Lil Nas' chart was super fun to talk about. I definitely see now why he makes waves, why he's such a trendsetter, why he's not afraid to express himself anymore. I'm very happy for him. I'm very excited to see where he goes from here. I love his music and I love the way he expresses himself. So he's got a fan in me. Ready for that album, baby. Like I said, I haven't picked the next celebrity for Taurus season yet, but I'm gonna get on that. Someone did comment and suggest, I'm gonna say his last name wrong, Henry Cavill, I don't know. Don't get me wrong, I know who he is and I love him, but I've always been like, I'm just not 100% on how to pronounce his last name and I need to get that figured out. Anyways, someone suggested him and I think that's a great suggestion, so I'm gonna look into that. Is he a Taurus? He is a Taurus! Awesome! That's so great. We might have a birth time. I'll have to look into that. But okay, so perhaps. I did already do Seth Rogen and Lil Nas though, so I like to keep it balanced and do like an even amount of like males and females. So we'll see about doing a Taurus lady for Taurus season. If you have suggestions, let me know in the comments, please, and thank you. If you guys ever have questions about anything I say in my videos or anything like that, or you just want to drop me a line, talk to me about something, you can always shoot me a DM on my Instagram or my Twitter. Those are the quickest ways to get in touch with me, or you can feel free to email me. All of those things are going to be here, and they're also going to be down in the description box, so feel free to do that, and please, if this was your first time hanging out with me, feel free to check out my other videos, feel free to check out my Instagram. I usually do more tarot stuff on there, but I haven't been lately. I'm getting ready to start it back up with the full moon that's coming up, so please give me a follow over there if you haven't and you're interested, and be on the lookout for those tarot readings. I'm really excited to get them started up again. The channel is almost 100. I was going to say the channel is almost 100 years old. The channel is almost 1 year old. Whoa, I started it during the quarantine and here I am a year later, got a lot of videos on it, and still making more, and still loving it, so that makes me really happy, and I'm almost at 100 subscribers. That's why I said 100 years. I'm almost at 100 subscribers, and that's very exciting. I can't thank you guys enough for supporting me and for being along on this little ride with me, and yeah, I love doing this, so it means a lot to me that you're here, you sit down with me, and you listen to me and my crazy shenanigans. I'm so good at that, just monologuing off the cuff. I hope you all are well. I hope you're excited for Taurus season. I'm excited. I'll be back soon with another video, and like I said, I'm gonna have those tarot readings coming up. The full moon's like on the 27th or 28th. I can't remember off the top of my head. Oh my gosh, also, one of my subscribers slash followers, I did an interpretation of her birth chart, and she made me and sent me this beautiful box. I love it so much. It's for like tarot cards or crystals or like really whatever I want to put in it, but obviously I'm gonna do something witchy or something related to like my tarot and astrology practices. I love it so much. Thank you, Alicia, so much. And I just wanted to share that with you guys because, like I said, the channel's almost a year old, and I mean, I've met cool people through it doing charts and just talking about astrology, and I really look forward to doing that more and hopefully gaining a bigger following, meeting even more people, and helping them out using tarot and astrology like over the years that are coming. That is what I would love to do with my life. So yeah. So yes, me and my beautiful box are signing off for the night. I will be back soon. I don't know how soon you guys will see the box again. But look at how gorgeous and beautiful it is while you can. Love you, bye!